Hello, sir.
What's going on, man?
Oh, how you doing?
Hey, right.
I'm sorry I complained about the cold yesterday.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Oh, mackerel, man.
Get a double dose today.
Well, welcome to a chilly day of the commute.
I will be your driver.
And I will be your passenger. I wish that was exciting news, at least, it'll be exciting for both of us, but...
Yeah?
I know you're not a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I love the show.
I'm just zombied out, that's all.
Well, yeah, I mean, I am too. If it wasn't such a good story,
fatigue.
I would probably be in the same boat. Like, anything else zombie that comes out, I'm kind of like, okay, you know, I got it. But I'm into this, I'm hooked.
Uh-huh.
Well, there is a beer company, I don't know if you're familiar with them, in Philadelphia. Dock Street Brewing Company?
That sounds familiar, but...
Sounded familiar to me. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I know all their beer and everything.
No.
But this Sunday is the series finale of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So in honor of that, they're putting out a Walking Dead beer. And what's this person doing?
So packing all of her everything in there.
Yeah, something she's going to pack.
Yeah.
But anyway, their beer is called Dock Street Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out this week, again in honor of the end of the Walking Dead. Plus, I'm sure an easy way to make money.
Yeah.
You know,
Cash in on
profit off of that.
popularity.
But it is made from malted wheat, oats, flake barley, cranberry, and smoked goat brains. What do you think of that?
Smoked goat brains.
Smoked goat brains. I got to add it to the list.
Yeah, that's no reason not to.
You know, I definitely have to add it. You know, it's just going with the zombie theme, with the brains, and
gonna pick some up for the
if I can
finale,
find it, I don't know how far south they're going to, you know,
you have to look and see
be sending this. I'm definitely gonna have to look it up.
what their distribution is.
It is an American Pale Stout.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of beer it is, and they are marketing it as the smartest beer you'll ever drink.
What is going on?
Oh no! See if we can get. Can we get through?
I don't even know.
We're about to find it. Yeah, we're good.
It's like 30 tour buses.
Thanks, baby. Get through. Thank you. Ignore the camera.
Or smile, whichever.
So that is that. What else do we have going on here? Military is coming out with an Iron Man suit that they're going to be testing.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that.
It's they're going to be testing it in June.
Uh-huh.
The Army is developing it with MIT.
Yeah.
It's called their Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit, or the TALIS. It's to help soldiers and special forces. They're going to hopefully have them in the field by August of 2018. So we'll see.
Quick,
it's got 360-degree cameras in it, so they can see all the way around them. Mm-hmm. It's got a little face shield with a screen on it. Built-in night vision. Sensors that detect wounds and apply wound-sealing foam. Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, you seal you up, keep on going. But the armor's supposed to be bulletproof, so which is it? You know, is it bulletproof, or will the bullets get through?
Or are we getting sealed?
But I guess it depends how badly, you know, what you're getting hit by.
Yeah, or where, or...
In the future, they're hoping it will have a full body exoskeleton, because it doesn't quite cover everything right now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like it really does too much outside of, like, metrics and, you know, being just body armor. It's just kind of smart armor.
Yeah, it's just really cool armor. I'm sure it's probably super light.
But it's not like an exoskeleton. It doesn't, like, help you lift anything.
No, it doesn't give you strength.
Yeah. They're working on that stuff, too.
I've seen that.
Connects up to where your joints are and stuff. And
they said that stuff helps you run faster, makes you stronger.
Well, not only that, the main application for it was for nurses in hospitals to take, like, people that were infirm, like, depending on the size of the people, it would only take one nurse, whereas it would take 4 before. So they've got like the power lift thing to lift people and move people off of beds and stretchers and everything else. So you can kind of cover more staff, cover more area with less staff.
I wonder if that would even out the pay scale too, because I know male nurses get paid more than female nurses.
Oh yeah.
Simply because they have to have people there that are strong enough to lift someone up if they have to. And usually these female nurses, especially as they get older, just aren't strong enough.
I think that was in Japan or something, they were testing that.
That's pretty cool. Well, that'd be wicked, man. Have this little old lady, this little old nurse come and just lift you up.
Anything else?
Have your arm around her. You're my hero.
Well, it's important too because of just the increasing elderly population.
Sure.
Just everywhere, baby boomers and all that stuff. I mean,
and it would probably be able to let them, have them be less fatigued in a shift.
Yeah, exactly.
You're exerting less energy.
You're not going through all of that.
Even just kind of like standing around on your feet all day.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be cool. What else are they hoping? They're hoping also in the future it'll have the full body exoskeleton with screens that show their full surroundings. So they can kind of look 360 at one time. Kind of like a panoramic view on top of the screen.
That's pretty cool.
But that was pretty neat. It looked cool. It looked kind of like Halo-ish, or one of those shooters.
Well, Titanfall or whatever.
So, this day in history, March 26, 97. 39 bodies of the Heaven's Gate community found after committing suicide to be picked up by the spaceship.
Remember that whole
the
thing?
Hale-Bopp comet. I remember that. Wow, I would have never even. They never even would have crossed my mind if you didn't have that out there. Yeah, they were nutty. And didn't we kind of, what was the story with that? We knew they were going to commit suicide, or?
Yeah, somebody was like, there was a warning or something about, that whole thing going down.
And there's like Heaven's Gate Watch. Like they'd update you every day on their
how close
status.
It was getting to be. And was that the same people that they drank the Kool-Aid or whatever? Was that them or? No, that was South America.
That was the Jones, right? The Jones gang, or they may have too, though. I mean,
yeah, I don't remember.
I know it's a familiar way for these cults to whack themselves off. Should they kill themselves? Yeah. 1989. First free elections took place in the Soviet Union under Boris Yeltsin. Well, he was the first elected. Well, yeah.
At that time, yeah. So
I remember that too. And it was a big thing. Oh, they're free. They're free. They were, up till then, Russia was the bad guys. You know?
That was a big thing. And now, back in the news again, annexing Crimea and flexing power again in the world.
And they, it makes you wonder, how far they're going to take it. Because we grew up in that whole thing.
Yeah, we're naturally...
Yeah, here they go again.
Suspicious of the Red Menace.
Those crazy guys. They also just took the Dolphin Combat Unit from Crimea. It's a bunch of group of dolphins. What do you call a group of dolphins? A herd of dolphins?
No, it's a pod.
A dollop of dolphins? A pod.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's just a pod of dolphins, and they go out and they alert people if they see any enemies in the water, any mines.
Yeah, mine detection.
They were going to stop it. Crimea was about to cut it because they just didn't have the funds for it in April. So Russia took it, and they're going to keep it going. Because they said they have newer devices that allow them to communicate with the dolphins better. So they're going to send the dolphins out and check out for attack buoys. And then sonar will be detected on board wherever the people are. And the dolphins will, if they see something, they teach them to make some kind of noise, and it goes back, and then they can locate the dolphin. They know exactly where it is.
That makes more sense, because how do you know they're not coming back just for fish?
Yeah, like, hey, look, every time we do this, they give us fish. This is fantastic.
There's mines everywhere. It's crazy.
They said they are going to have to work with them and reteach them. They also train sea lions
to do the same thing.
I guess they can. I don't know how the sea lions let them know.
I didn't know that sea mines were such a big problem anymore.
Maybe in Russia. Maybe it's probably their own shit that they left out years ago. Or we don't want to navigate around it. But I just thought that was kind of cool with, talking with the dolphins.
And they kind of solved that a different way too. The Russians, they had a whole like transport solution to overcome like the problem of like sea mines and transporting cargo and stuff faster. They had a vehicle called an Ekranoplan, and it's kind of like an airplane, but sort of like a hydrofoil kind of thing. So it basically, as an airplane's taking off to gain lift, you get kind of that undercurrent, and it exploits that ground effect to like lift the ship out of the water, and it can go like hundreds and hundreds of miles an hour across the top of the water.
Wow, really?
Like 20 feet off the water, like
wow,
fast as almost a jet.
I mean, can't we just use radar to detect
mines
anything out there? Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I mean, that would be one way, but I don't know what the problem with mines is, that they're just inert, or there's nothing to really get a signal back from besides something in there.
Maybe
they're just not
so
big
small.
enough. Yeah, I'm sure that was their use.
Well, apparently Russia is concerned about them.
Yeah.
In North Korean news, about 2 weeks ago, they announced that all men in the country must get the Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, his haircut. They must all get that haircut.
Oh, wow.
From now on, when you go in the barbershop, that is the only haircut you can get.
That makes it easy.
And yeah, they're going to be pros at it. They said up until then, the only hairstyles that you could get, it's they call it the Dear Leader Kim Jong-un haircut, or just the Dear Leader haircut. But until 2 weeks ago, men still only had 10 hairstyles to choose from.
Oh, they took all those away.
It was, now you're one. But before, I guess it was like going into McDonald's. You'd go in and there'd be a board.
Yeah, 1 through 10.
Yeah, give me the number 4.
Yeah.
Zing, zing, zing. And women only have 18 hairstyles to choose from. They're going to keep that. They're still allowed to have 18 hairstyles.
Well, it's not too far out of the realm of... I mean, it's a highly militaristic society.
Yeah. And really, when you think about it, I mean, most women, even here in America, 18 hairstyles will pretty much cover everybody.
Yeah. And if you ask us. But...
Well, yeah. Off the bat, I probably could give you 5.
Right.
Short, shoulder length, long.
You got more than me, already.
Curly, straight. Bun.
Yeah.
Ponytail, pigtails. And the Jennifer Aniston.
That's it.
That's about what I cover.
Covered all the bases.
I'm gonna check that out when I'm at work tomorrow. I'm gonna see how many different hairstyles I can count. And if I see 2 with the same, I'm gonna ask them, do you guys have the same haircut? Just to me.
Or find the list of what all the North Korean hairstyles are and see if those would be okay with people that we know.
It's probably
Could you pick off this list and be perfectly happy for the rest of your life?
The rest of your life. You can essentially change your hairstyle 18 times in your life.
Yeah.
I don't know if most women even do that, Again, they probably do.
Right. Yeah, it's our lack of notice that creates the problems.
I bet in North Korea it's like straight 6 inches long, straight 7 inches long, straight 8 inches long. But yeah, that's super militaristic, man. Like,
yeah, it's awful.
Well, even your hair has to be the same.
You can't even imagine from where we are now as to what life would even be like.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
In that kind of society, it's
I would think you wouldn't want anyone else to have your haircut. You know, if you're a leader, like, this is my haircut. No one else is allowed to have.
You can have this haircut, but you can't have this one.
You can't have mine. You want mine? Too bad. I'm the leader. I win.
Yeah, you put out it's like some kind of defect in everybody else's.
You have my haircut, but you got to get a line down the side.
You're a one stripe less.
Or make it like, Philadelphia had the rule for the longest time where no building could be taller than, the Billy Penn statue.
Oh, was that what it was?
But yeah, it was like a gentleman's rule kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And then they built that one friggin' building that towered it, and people were pooping their pants about it. The buildings aren't supposed to be taller.
Yeah.
Like, you want a decent skyline? Yes, they are. You can only fit so much in this crappy city.
Right.
So I would make it like that. Like, you can have my haircut, but it's not allowed to be taller than mine. Kind of like stands up a little bit. Like, you can have half the length, maybe an inch shorter. Especially because being short, you'd want to like try to tower over everybody.
Yeah. In
pictures and shit. You want to be taller than me eye to eye, but my hair makes me taller.
It's always a weird thing, that preserving the skyline thing. I came up, a lot of islands do that, like, preserving the natural, like,
islands I can get. I can understand that with an island. Yeah. Especially if it's a tourist thing, you want to keep your look.
Yeah, like the profile of it or whatever.
You don't want to feel like you're in a busy city when you're going on vacation from living in a busy city.
Then like every other hotel is trying to build over the next one just to see, water.
And this way it gives the waterfront properties the advantage,
Yeah, exactly. That keeps that intact, or whoever does own it, if they decide to sell it, it's worth a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, a city, I would just think you want as many super tall-ass buildings as you can get.
I don't know, man. It's give and take, because, look at the buildings down in Wilmington. Half of them are, like, for rent, like the office space. It's like...
Yeah, I guess it depends on the city you're in.
You build these giant structures, and if whatever corporation or whatever built it moves out,
you're stuck with
or they can't rent the space, you're stuck with this huge structure you can't do anything with. And who's gonna keep? He's gonna keep, care of it. Somebody's gotta wash all those windows.
Yeah. That's a problem the government's having right now. People are all up in arms because they spend so many millions of dollars maintaining buildings that are empty.
Yeah.
Your tax dollars are going to maintain empty buildings.
Yeah.
But I guess they figure keep the building, or you can't sell it.
Yeah.
Who's going to buy it?
Yeah, exactly. You're better off keeping property. Just in general.
Yeah. Because they own it outright, you just pay to maintain it, but...
Yeah, basically.
And really, what's millions, when it's just a number.
It's not going to take anything out of any kind of significant budget.
So another price cut for the Xbox One.
Sort of.
Okay.
At Best Buy and Walmart. You can get the Xbox One with that with the Titanfall game included. Well, those two places, they are lowering it by $50.
Okay.
So basically, you're getting the console and the game for $450, and that's actually turns out to be a better price than the PlayStation now, because the PlayStation doesn't come with a game.
How much is the PlayStation right now?
PlayStation's $400.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're getting a game with it.
You're getting a game with it. So it makes it cheaper then. So that's kind of the first step at them taking a stab at.
And GameStop didn't follow suit, huh?
I don't know. It's just those two right now. I don't know if they're exclusive or it's like that for now. But the Xbox people from Microsoft, they said that they didn't lower their MSRP. It's those.
Oh, they're making just less of a profit.
Right.
So I was going to say, wow, I did not expect the price to drop yet.
No, not yet at all.
Not for at least like 8 months after.
Something.
It came out.
Getting closer to next Christmas.
It's only been 3 months right now.
Right.
Or 4 months.
Yeah. It's out of my price range, so.
I'm not going to run out still. You're going to have to drop further than that.
Not really keeping track of it. But I'd love to play that game. It looks like fun as hell.
Yeah.
Titanfall. I keep seeing that commercial with like the the guy like comes out of his apartment or whatever, and the big robot like busts through the wall. And it's following him down the street. It's like breaking crap, so it makes his walk easier.
I just don't like the fact that it doesn't have a couch campaign. Like, I get that's the appeal of it, is the whole thing's online.
Yeah.
But
you'd never know the difference, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't. With the way they set up the campaign, I don't think you'd ever know the difference.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're going into it. You pick campaign. You're going into it just playing the campaign. It's just, you know, you've got however many other people with you or against you. You know, but you're still playing against bots and stuff too. You know, it's still gonna have AI.
Yeah, I guess as long as they still have the AI. Because if it's just all
it's
other
not just
people,
all
you're just playing with a bunch of dicks.
Yeah, they'll just keep crushing you over and over again.
But the graphics look badass too.
Yeah,
I was actually playing. They have another bundle with the Forza racing game.
Oh yeah.
And you can get that with it. I was playing that in the store the other day.
Oh really?
It was pretty cool.
Man, I loved all
neat.
of those. That whole series is a lot of fun.
And I mean, it's pretty realistic. Like, you're driving around one area and the sun glares in your eyes, and it's like,
it's crazy.
I mean, the sun is glaring in your eyes.
One thing I saw I liked though, because I found that snippet, was like the I guess your gold membership, it counts for both the systems. So like, if you had, you know, your 360 still set up, you wouldn't have to go through this whole like rigmarole.
Really?
Yeah, they're both set up. It's for like one household.
Wow.
So, and then you can set up like sub things underneath. So like, you can have yours as a gold membership, but you know, if your wife wanted to do her own thing, she could have her own account under your gold, and you know, she would still get all the achievements and stuff, but they're two separate like accounts.
That surprised me, because usually they're all stingy with, you know, like you can't even transfer.
Yeah, that was the biggest bite, man, because the one we had, like the 360, like I got that, I don't know, a couple years after it came out, and then that thing died, and I was like, man, you know, I don't really want to go through the thing. It's gonna cost, you know, however much money to just send it off, and you know, if I just get a new one, I can get a bigger hard drive and whatever else. So I just broke down and got a new one. And I forget how I came across it. Like I came across something like where like the part was cheap, so I just ordered the part, and I decided, you know, if I got it to work, I got it to work. If I didn't, whatever.
Right.
But so I got the old one to work too. So I had two of them. I was like, hey, that, you know, that's cool. You know, I'll put one upstairs and we'll do, you know, like Hulu Plus and Netflix and that stuff off of it upstairs on that TV, and then keep, you know, the new one downstairs where we play the games. But no, it was like you had to transfer the whole thing to that system, and you know, it wasn't per household. It was like per system, and it was unique to that 360.
Well, even PlayStation was the same. I'd be interested to see how the PlayStation does it with the PS4. Because I think I told you before, my dad has, you know, PlayStation is free anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like they can make any extra money off it.
Right.
But his PlayStation died. So he went out and bought a new PlayStation.
Yeah, but he couldn't
And I went to put it on, and I called them up, and like, what's the deal? They're like, oh, you're not allowed to transfer it. I'm like, well, I have to. Like, it's his account. He wants to keep his account.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and that's what everyone knows him as. But the old one's dead. Like, I can't even transfer it if I wanted to. It does not turn on.
Replace this VIN number thing on the thing, and I'll read you the new one.
They wanted me to send the broken one back. They're like, well, you have to send us the broken one, then approve it, and then we'll allow you to try. I'm like, what? No. I'm not sending you back shit. I just gave you another $300 for a new fucking system.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, fine, we'll allow it to go through this one time, but we're putting it on the account.
Hey, don't hurry yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, don't worry. The next time it'll be, I'll open a new Xbox account.
Yeah.
And they're like that, cocksuckers.
No, I'll send you back a broken one. Oh, it'll be broken, all right. There'll be nothing left of that thing.
It's gonna be covered in piss too, by the way. It'll be like touching piss.
Yeah.
Bitches. So Facebook bought Oculus VR.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about them a lot lately, that Oculus thing.
It's getting pretty big, and they bought it for $2 billion.
Yeah.
And the Oculus VR is the people that made the Oculus Rift, you know, the
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know,
just a mere 2 years ago with a Kickstarter.
Yeah. And here they made $2 billion.
Yeah.
They worked for 2 years. They got $2 billion. Well, they put
still
more work
working
into
on
it,
now,
but they're $2 billion richer.
Well, yeah, those people are, but how would all the people that kickstarted that project to get it off the ground, had a little piece in that. They're not going to see a piece of that.
No, they're going to see a dime of it. A dime of it. Facebook is saying that aside from the gaming aspect of it, they want to be able to use it for schooling. Like you could essentially be in a classroom, like if you're doing online schooling, or let's say your school offers that. It's a class, you're sick, you can't make it to class. You'd be able to be in the classroom using the Oculus Rift. Another thing is face-to-face with doctors, they said, so you can just kind of, I guess, video conference your doctor instead of having to go in, tell them all the things that are wrong.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you can do with a phone, too. If you want to,
that doesn't really...
You can FaceTime it.
Right.
The people are upset. People that really like the Oculus Rift are going nuts, saying that Facebook is going to destroy what Rift could have been.
Yeah, I saw the dude, the guy that made Minecraft. Mm-hmm. He was I guess making a version of the game for the Oculus Rift, and now he pulled his.
Oh, he pulled it out.
Yeah, he completely pulled out from it.
Wow.
He's not doing it anymore because of that buyout.
Because they said their focus was gaming.
Yeah.
And Facebook isn't going to make that their only focus. But I'd imagine they're going to still have a group to focus on that. If they're paying $2 billion for this, they're going to try to get every penny they can.
I don't know. I was fine with it as a game novelty, but I don't see it as a useful thing. I guess that's going to be the competition for.
I guess in the future, that's the way.
The Google Glass or something? What? I mean, what?
Well, I guess you can
where's
do
the competition
things
there?
that they've done with the Rift so far. I don't really get this. One of the things they were able to do was they had a man and a woman gender swap. Well, how do you gender swap? And just if I were to look down at myself, I'd see tits, and this is what it's like if I look down and saw tits. Okay, I mean, nothing great. Okay, I did it, great, it's cool. But, if I can't play with them.
Yeah, what's the use?
They said they were able to simulate the feeling of decapitation by guillotine.
With the Oculus Rift?
With the Oculus Rift. Simulate the feeling.
How does it simulate the feeling besides visually showing the head bobbing around?
There's nothing around your neck. It's not even like they could have a tap you or something.
It doesn't have sensors at
Unless
all.
it just gives you the visual of this is my head dropping.
Flopping around. Okay. Wow, that's innovative.
And I guess the mental feeling of it.
What?
I whoa, hey, this is crazy. I'm sitting here in my head. I don't know, because it's right on your... I don't know, I'm just trying to...
I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense.
And then they're also able to have people play Pokemon through the eyes of a trainer. Which might be okay if you're into Pokemon. I chose you! And you're going to throw out the little guy.
I thought the Zelda port was unique. Mm-hmm. The old Zelda game where you can play it first person. Okay, that's kind of funny. Yeah, it's not $500 funny. It's not $2 billion funny.
No.
And I don't get it, man. Whereas, dude, you need the technology from Strange Days.
Yes.
You ever see that movie?
Yes.
That movie was fucking badass. Where it was other people's experiences put right into your brain.
Yep. That's kind of like the story we were talking about the other week. About how they're working on being able to manipulate your neurons, pull them into a computer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same
you'll be able to do that,
I want that technology forwarded. I don't really give a crap about the Oculus Rift. I mean,
I can give you a disc. Hey, Larry, check it out. This is what it's like when I bang my wife. You want to experience it?
There it is.
There you go. Here, check out how boring my day is.
You thought your day was boring. Look at this.
But yeah, I mean, that's what they need to get to. And maybe, I don't know if Facebook has plans for it, but yeah, again, the $2 billion worth, because anything I just mentioned that they did is not enough to make me say I'm paying $300 for that. No way.
It's like our exact same conversation about the Google Glass. It's the same thing. What am I going to get out of that piece of technology that's going to do anything more for me than what, you know, like a television doesn't do or a computer monitor doesn't do.
Right.
I don't need that kind of like direct feedback on my face.
I would pay $10 at the boardwalk to hook up to this thing for 10-15 minutes, experience everything I just mentioned.
Again, a game novelty.
Experienced it. Yeah, exactly.
You know, you play it as a novelty thing in an arcade. It's not a. I don't know. That kind of stuff is like. It hasn't advanced past like the advanced Game Boy thing, where it was like the ray traced 3D thing that you put on your face. You remember that thing?
Mm-hmm.
It like hooked into the Game Boy, or it was a Game Boy, or whatever it was. I know it had a stupid tripod.
And there was only a few games they had for it, and that was weak.
Yeah, they were garbage.
You know?
I don't. This isn't any different.
My brother-in-law had it when he was a kid. And
it's worth a hell of a lot of money now.
I'm sure he doesn't have it now. He doesn't take care of nothing. But yeah, and even then it was like I couldn't wait to try it. Yeah. And I tried it and I was like,
yeah, there it is.
I think it was like a Spider-Man game he had for it.
That's just like anything. It's just like the Kinect or, you know, all that stuff before. That's a novelty.
Yeah.
It's a device that plugs into something that actually does something.
Right.
You know, it itself doesn't do anything. It's a joystick.
They struggle to make games for it that make you want to keep playing. And that's the thing. It's cool technology. Keep throwing something new at me, and they can't. All the brains they have in these gaming rooms, you know, coming up with these ideas, they can't come up with shit.
Well, it's the same thing as like 3D. You go to a 3D movie, and what is it? It's some asshole in the foreground pumping fuel into the fucking thing. Yep. That's my example every single time, because that was I can't remember what it was. It was Avatar.
Oh,
and that's all it was.
Start me with
like,
that one.
In the foreground, it was people like lifting crates.
They gave it a little bit of depth. The only real 3D was when words would come up on the screen.
Yeah, wow.
Now they're in this country. Well, there's a word in front of me. They hyped that up so much. I paid all the extra money for the 3D, took the family there, and I walked out like somebody owes me some fucking money.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I'll tell you what's good in 3D though is any of those like Pixar movies.
Oh, cartoons.
Movies.
Cartoons are awesome in 3D.
It's just killer.
Because they can make it for that. You know, like it's. You don't expect it to look realistic, so they can manipulate it any way they want.
Right.
And it's cool. Everything, man. Snow. Like snow. The only really cool thing I ever saw in 3D, aside from a kid's thing, well, aside from being at like Disney World or something.
Yeah, like the Muppets 3D.
The Muppets is cool. Did you do the, have you gone to Universal?
No.
Oh, they have a Spider-Man ride, and you're supposed to be like in a car, and the car's getting like whipped around the city and crashing through shit, and you're in this thing, and you're actually on like a roller coaster, and it'll stop sometimes, and there's certain points, man, like Spider-Man's falling down, and he whips his web at you and grabs your car with it, and like slings the car, and like you think you're being slung around, man, it's wild.
It like feels like it.
And then he jumps down, now you're like free falling, and like Spidey disappears, and because there's a screen in front of you the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're throwing like real fireballs out in front of you, like you feel the heat. And then all of a sudden, Spidey jumps down on the hood of your car, and it's like he's right there in front of you. Like it's wicked, man. Your car shakes, and it's just, you can reach out and touch him. It was the best thing ever.
Man.
But as far as a movie theater goes, was one of the Resident Evil movies.
Oh yeah.
I saw in 3D. And they had a couple cool 3D things, but there was a couple scenes, man, when they're slashing someone's head off or whatever, and the blood gets thrown out at you 3D. It was like dripping off your glasses.
Yeah.
Like it really it looked like you wanted to duck because this blood comes out. You hit your glasses and you're just like, eh. Like that was really cool. But other than that, I've yet to say I got my money's worth out of a 3D movie.
Yeah. No.
And I'm done with it.
It's a novelty thing. It's not innovative.
And my kid
it's
doesn't even like it.
And the things in those movies are usually done just for the sake of doing it in 3D. That's
right.
You know, I don't know. It's awful, is what it is.
And then it annoys me when I rent a movie, and it was a 3D movie in the theater, because the movie starts out with them trying to pull some 3D shit.
Right.
And you know that's all it is, like a sword coming out, and that shot never would have been in the movie if not. And now it's not in 3D, so.
Oh, that's thanks. So all of that, basically, I see as a novelty. It's not anything new. It's not innovative.
Right.
And I don't get where they're headed with the Oculus Rift now. To me, I had more respect for it when it was like, it was a joystick. It was a game add-on.
And it was a game.
That's fine.
I want it. Cool. I don't have to get it.
Right. It's not anything I'm going to buy, but, you know, make 3D Zeldas. I'm cool with that.
Exactly.
I want to see more stuff like that, but...
So, I hope they make their $2 billion back.
Knowing them, they can. They'll make...
Dude, they're paying money for all these things. They bought an app. What the hell was it? Oh, some kind of instant messaging app they just bought. For like $900 million.
Jesus.
For friggin', like, really? You saw a value in another texting application? I don't
Which is weird, because they have that one, like, that's built into the Facebook thing as it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they said what happens is they attach it to their name and it blows up.
Yeah.
Just like when they bought Instagram. They bought Instagram for so many millions of dollars. And at the time, there were better photo editing applications out there.
Right.
That's just the one they bought.
Yeah.
And Instagram is now really the only one. You know,
so
everybody uses it.
They're just investing in these things to make their own stock increase.
And they advertise it.
Well, it's free advertising now. They're free advertising.
No, what I'm saying is they advertise it to us, the app.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then, right.
For them,
it's free. And then they charge other
They've got all these,
to advertise on their apps.
All these metrics, all these people at their disposal. It's the ultimate corporate mega beast.
It's insane, dude.
So there's no end to that then. They can just keep vacuuming up these little side projects. And, and the Commute is for sale.
Just keep that in mind. Anyone wants to buy it.
It's not quite worth...
Zuckerberg, make us an offer.
$2 billion's fine. We can start there.
Yeah.
We're willing to negotiate.
We'll go down a little bit. It'll be the highest rated podcast you have. Push it. We'll stay on salary free once you buy it from us.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm for that. Mental floss, presidential facts.
Yeah, there's a new episode of this YouTube series, Mental Floss, and they come up and this guy gives a bunch of like facts on whatever the subject of the day is, and this was like presidential facts. So I thought that one was interesting.
Now, what's the?
It was
do a bush thing or to vomit in public.
Bushusuru is the Japanese word for to pull a bush or to vomit on someone in public. It's an actual Japanese word.
That is awesome.
It was hilarious. I watched that today.
That is cool.
Bushusuru.
Got some drone news.
Yeah.
This company, SensePoint, created what they call a Snoopy drone. And what they do is they use this drone, they send it out there, and use it to hack into phones. And it steals all your data and passwords from your phone. What it does is it goes around looking for any kind of mobile device that's trying to connect to a Wi-Fi network, and it tricks the device into thinking it's a Wi-Fi network it already connected to.
Yeah.
So the passwords are open to it. And they take all your data out of it.
Nice.
In its test flight, they stole information from 150 devices, got people's PayPal, Amazon, and Yahoo information. They can even pinpoint, they did this in London. They can even use it to pinpoint what your wealth is and things you're likely to buy.
Oh yeah.
To see if they
have
want
access to that.
your information.
Yeah.
Like, anyone whose value is less than this, don't worry about taking their
right. Or anybody that has this kind of account, this kind of account, this kind of account,
right,
is going to be in this tax bracket.
We want it. They were doing it to show how vulnerable people are.
Yeah.
They're actually a cybersecurity company,
right?
And they're going to present their findings in an upcoming conference in Singapore. What they're telling people to do is just turn off your Wi-Fi if you're in public. Mm-hmm. If you're not trying to connect to anything, because otherwise your phone's always looking to connect to something.
Yeah, exactly.
They said that's really all you have to do. But if you don't, this is a possibility of things can happen.
And it's not just that drone, too. I mean, that's something somebody could have in their pocket just walking around. Mm-hmm. The drone is a secondary feature to that. Anybody walking around at all could just have that just on them in their briefcase, picking up everything as they're going.
Yeah, I mean, and not just a phone,
Yeah.
Tablet.
Yep. Everything. It's
laptop.
Yep.
And you get into someone's laptop, Christ, you still company secrets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens all the time. People bringing home company laptops
and another drone by a company called Quickie in San Francisco. They're using a drone to deliver medications to you. They said a lot of times you're just too sick to go out, pick up medication you might need.
Yeah.
Or you might be healthy and need something, and you don't like going into these stores, these pharmacies, because it's filled with sick people. So you can go on, you can order medication or anything small from a pharmacy. It only costs you $1 extra on your entire order to have it delivered. And they're open 24 hours a day. What it does is when it gets to your place, it buzzes your phone to let you know it's there. It's in your front yard. You go out, swipe your credit card, it drops your package, it takes off. The only problem is they don't have any pharmacies willing to work with them right now.
Yeah, I don't. Well, not only that, but I mean, how are they going to have open airspace for drones?
Well, that's one of the problems we're having as well. The Federal Aviation Department, they have to get clearance from them to be able to use the airspace. The reason they're using San Francisco as a test market is because it's flat open land. There's not a lot of tall buildings. It would be easier to maneuver it there. Mm-hmm. But they're just having problems with it. But they're saying it's quiet, it's respectful to people. It's not.
Yeah. Well.
They said you won't even know it's there. As far as interfering with other, I guess, planes or something, it would be able to detect.
But honestly, I mean, somebody's on the other end of the drone controlling it.
Yeah.
Why can't that person get in a car, drive the little baggie over?
Well, because it would take longer.
Your doorbell.
Especially in San Francisco.
Well, yeah.
Here it's just a beeline.
Get on a bicycle.
And they can make more deliveries that way. They're probably spending less in fuel. If any fuel. I don't know how these things run.
Yeah, it's batteries and stuff.
So,
Especially if it's quiet. Yeah, I mean, straight distance.
I'm for it.
I don't know.
I'm saying do it.
Yeah, I mean, do it, but I don't see how they clear that much airspace.
They have a lot in front of them between the Federal Aviation Department and then having a pharmacy say, "Yeah, we'll go in business with you because God forbid something happens. Yeah, I mean, their name's going to be attached to it."
Right. And what's a safe height for something like that to fly at?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the thing is, when Amazon's talking about having these drones, nobody kicks a fit.
Well, was that even a real thing? I thought that was like something.
It was something they didn't create. It was something it was an idea they came up with.
Right. Like it was tossed around
was for it. Right.
Yeah.
And people blew that up. To be whatever it was.
Which really, honestly, it's the same exact thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe these are ploys to like raise the elevation on whatever the flight restrictions are. There's a certain amount of feet that certain aircraft can fly in.
Yeah, just don't fly around any airports.
I mean, like all these towers and stuff, they're at a certain height, for a reason. So if it's over whatever that height is, maybe it's safe. I don't know.
Okay, wow. Let's make our call to the phone booth.
Middle of nowhere.
Let's see. While I'm pulling this up, you have a little Peter Pan fact here. He killed the Lost Boys in the original text.
Yeah, in the original text, he with wholesale slaughter of Lost Boys.
Wow.
Some of the things they used in the text was he had to occasionally cull the amount of Lost Boys that were coming to Neverland, and he would and in some of the stories he would switch sides during the fights when they would go out to kill pirates.
Oh yeah.
He would join the sides of the pirates and start killing the Lost Boys.
Gotcha, suckers. I heard a thing on Peter Pan the other day where the theory is that was actually heaven for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because they go there and they can never leave.
Right.
And so maybe Peter Pan was a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Peter Pan.
A murderous bastard.
Alright, let's try this.
The number you have dialed has been changed to a conference. You are the only party in this conference.
Damn it! Audible Link, I got something for you. Sick of your voice already.
Oh man. Such promise.
Got some coffee facts. 54% of Americans over the age of 18 all drink coffee. I kind of thought that was low.
54%?
I thought it would be higher than that. Basically half of the country.
I don't know. That's a pretty significant number, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
I'm
seem
just used to
much,
the office
but
because they have free coffee, so everybody drinks it. And you get something free.
Yeah.
And all these friggin' companies that just sell coffee for a ridiculous price. People don't care. They got to get their fix.
Right.
It is the number 2 most traded commodity on Earth after oil. Coffee beans. The scientists suggest that the beans could replace fossil fuels as a main source of energy and motor fuel. I don't know how you're going to pull that off. But I guess they figure there's so much of it.
I don't know. I mean, apparently the growing area though of the crop is pretty small. It only grows in particular areas, and the problem is we're losing those areas. Due to different types of climate change. The climate in those areas changing.
Do you get a lot of coffee per plant?
I don't know that. I don't think so. I mean, it's...
And if they did that, why's the price of coffee skyrocket,
Right. There's that weird show, too, on, I think it's on the Travel Channel. It's Dangerous Grounds, where, the guy, flies into, just crazy, drug-riddled areas and, tries to find these rare, coffee beans and, make this crazy coffee out of it. I've never seen it, but...
They want to risk my leg for coffee.
It was a weird show.
That's an addict.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know. I thought that was one of the products that was... we were most likely not going to see in another 50 years or so.
Yeah, maybe.
Because of that, the difference in the way climates are changing, the growing areas would shrink too much.
So we're going to run out of coffee and oil at the same time.
Right.
Great.
We're screwed. I mean,
we can't even use our coffee.
No.
The first webcam was invented at the University of Cambridge to let people know if the pot of coffee was full or not.
Nice.
So they could be working and just click on the webcam and see if there was coffee ready. That's why they created a webcam. Because they needed their coffee fix. They were too lazy to get up and check it. And a lethal dose of coffee is roughly 100 cups of coffee.
Is a lethal dose?
Because if you could pour 100 cups of coffee down your gullet pretty quick, it'll kill you. I did not know you could OD on caffeine, but...
Yeah.
Well, I guess, because those 5-hour energy drinks, they say, it thickens your blood and it's not good for you. It's like pushing styrofoam through your heart.
Is that what it said?
Well, yeah, thickens your blood.
Yeah.
And it makes it so thick it just can't pull it through anymore. And no blood for you.
Nice.
You go. You die out. here's a new one. I never heard of this. Turophobia is a fear of cheese.
Okay.
And there's this woman, Melissa North. She's 22 years old. And she just becomes a mental case when she gets near cheese. Like, she goes into the grocery store, she's by the deli aisle, she falls down on the ground crying, hysterical, and she can't hack it. She can't handle this cheese. She's more afraid of soft cheeses like brie. So again, I don't know what the difference would be between a soft cheese and like why that's more scary. But she has a phobia of it. She wasn't always that way. When she was a kid, she was at a friend's house and the parent gave her melted cheese on toast, and she like couldn't go near it. And ever since then, it's gotten worse. Once kids found out about it when she was a teenager, they would tease her about it at school and throw cream cheese at her. Throw cream cheese at her head, and she would just like again ball up and start crying and go nuts.
So even cream cheese.
Cheese, yeah, and that's a soft cheese. So
yeah.
I don't know if that's where the soft cheese thing came from, like because kids would throw it at her.
Yeah.
And it's between being fear and bringing back bad memories. She just says it looks awful, and the idea of eating it makes her sick. Like just thinking about putting cheese in her mouth and getting sick. But that's...
Is it the concept of cheese?
I don't get it, because I can understand if you're grossed out by something.
Right.
Not that I am, but okay, you're grossed out by a texture or whatever. But to be afraid of it, like cheese can't do anything to you. It can't come to life.
You, my friend, have not seen enough episodes of The Misfits.
Okay. Maybe she got onto that.
No, I don't think so, but there's a story to be told there.
Wow, okay.
Watch The Misfits.
The only thing I can think of is it could choke you to death.
I don't get it, man. What?
Shoved down your throat?
I don't understand being afraid of it.
Yeah. That is beyond me.
It's just a weird mental...
But yeah, I mean, that's her deal, That's
her damage.
That's what gets her... who knows? She said her family always makes fun of her about it, but she's able to get through that.
Yeah, it's got to be...
Can you imagine having a sibling like that when you were growing up?
Yeah.
All it takes is cheese.
Yeah,
I'd be putting blocks of it on her pillow at night.
It's just sheer power.
I would take their shit and just put like a circle of cheese around me.
Mm-hmm.
Come get it. Yeah. Come get it.
What are you going to do now?
It's all mine now. And there was this group of 5th graders. I'm not much for records and recording, A new record was set, but this one I thought was cool. I would have loved to have done it, especially as a kid. A bunch of 5th graders got together and they were raising money for some cause. And the principal said if they could raise $10,000 or more, he would shave off his mustache that he had for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So that would be the reward for the kids. They had to create the tallest Hot Wheels loop ever. So this big giant loop that your Hot Wheels cars can actually go around and create something, to make the cars, which is ridiculous. The record was 9 feet 3 inches.
Man.
And as a kid, I love my Hot Wheels cars, but they had these little 6-inch loops that they would get to the top and just drop down.
Yeah, the rubber
like
band
Homer Simpson or something. And so they made one 9 feet 9 inches tall. Mm-hmm. And they said it took them a couple times to do it, but they eventually got the Hot Wheels car to go all the way around.
Wow.
The loop. You're talking that tall. That's a wide loop.
Yeah.
It's wide, and they raised a little over $12,000. So Principal Mustache had to shave it off. But just like, what a cool thing to do with Hot Wheels, Even today,
What a cool experiment too for them to.
Yeah.
Sit there.
You're not giving them huge something they're not familiar with. They're already halfway there. They have Hot Wheels cars.
It's something in their environment, Or
something they're familiar with, something fun, and I'm sure they learned something from it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of.
There's many things they can learn from that experiment.
It's great.
But so I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could have done that.
Yeah, no, nothing like that ever came up when I was a kid. So.
So I'm going to challenge my kid. She's got to make a 9-foot 10-inch
Hot Wheels loop.
Hot Wheels
Yeah, but
loop.
then you got to go out and buy all that Hot Wheels track. That's probably like
accessories. That's how they get
$30 a
you.
square foot.
They're like printers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get the cars real cheap. Oh, you want a loop?
Yeah.
you want it to do something?
Yeah.
Ah,
You got a loop.
this
for
piece of plastic is going to cost you.
Yep. Man.
And if you go by Legos, the price of plastic is pretty high.
Reminds me too. I got to get ink.
Glad I can remind you.
I'm not.
What kind of printer do you have?
That's a Canon. We got it.
Oh, okay.
They're all like it's real cheap on Amazon over around Christmas time. It's like
You
under
could run to
$50.
Walgreens and get it, or you could have it droned into your
Yeah.
house
Drone me some ink in.
once you make it to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I'll be here.
All right, well, that'll do it for us today. Check out our website, 2commute.com, TWOcommute.com. Follow us on Twitter @DriverPassenger. Send us an email. Let us know what you're thinking. Anything you want us to bring up at the Commute Podcast at Comcast.net, and check out our Facebook page, The Commute. Till then, see you tomorrow.